Today I want to talk about the Bakelite 6x30 Dienstglas. It was made by CXN, which is the German secret factory code for Emil Busch. Now this version was actually an experimental one, created towards the end of the war. The regular mass-produced version of the German Dienstglas was made of brass and aluminum. The Bakelite version being slightly larger than the standard one, it won't fit in a standard case. Now I couldn't find an exact number of how many of the Bakelite version were produced, but based on the serial numbers that I could find online, I would estimate it to be around 50,000. Since these binoculars were designed for frontline use, they had to be highly durable. Bakelite being very brittle, these are not. Therefore they were only produced in a limited run, and most that survive today are either broken or cracked. Just holding this binocular in your hands already feels risky. But anyway, the markings on the top are similar to the standard Dienstglas, but not exactly the same. You'll find the lubrication marking and the serial number, but they're not located on the top plates like in the other version. Interestingly though, while there is a rangefinder in the right ocular, there's no indication of it on the binocular itself, unlike most of the other versions of the standard Dienstglas. I am actually working on a video on how to use the rangefinder, so stay tuned for that. On the left plate you'll find the factory code printed in fairly large lowercase letters, and on the right plate there's a Dienstglas marking with the magnification listed underneath. Unfortunately, the Dienstglas marking has been scratched out on this example. The lubrication marking can be found on the top of the hinge plate. It's represented by a triangle, which is one of the 4 different lubrication markings. The serial number is located on the bottom hinge plate. Now the Bakelite version came with the same accessories as any other Dienstglas, including the rain cover, the carrying strap and the button flap. The rain cover does exactly what you would expect. It protects the oculars from rain and dirt. It's also important to note that the Bakelite Dienstglas had its own specific rain cover, although I haven't been able to find one yet. But here's a picture of what it should look like. The button flap attaches to a button on the uniform, allowing the user to move around without the binocular swinging all over the place. Another interesting thing is how the carrying strap is attached. There's 2 loops where the strap goes through and fastens with a standard lock. The Bakelite version also came with a case made from a material called Presstof, which is a leather substitute made from paper. The case is unique to this binocular and it's quite similar to the standard case, but slightly larger to accommodate the size difference. It has a typical German slide opening mechanism and a regular carrying strap, which in itself is quite rare. Usually near the opening of the case you'll find 3 markings: the factory code CXN, the Waffenamt with an eagle and the number 4. This indicates that the case was produced in 1944. As far as I know, no cases with a different number have been observed, which suggests that the binocular itself was also likely only produced in 1944.